Imagine this fantastical future. What if you could have a phone call, but then your phone was also like dangerously hot? Imagine ring, 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 and this is real. There's just like boiling just liquid over here. Imagine such a wonderful, fantastical future. Well, today you're not actually gonna need to imagine all that. Today you're gonna see your best dreams come to life. You're gonna be like, finally. You're gonna see everything that we're gonna be talking about today, and you're gonna be like, finally. So let's strap in. And oh my God, this is Scampaign Time Machine, and we're getting into the time machine, and oh my God, oh boop 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 boop, and we're in 2017. You're walking outside, it's 2017. There's probably some Marvel movie that has just come out. You finish watching the Marvel movie, you then go home, you open up your laptop, and you find out something unbelievable. A Kickstarter campaign for a product called Mockhaze has just been launched. Recently, my channel's just been getting like destroyed by copyright claims. So we're gonna switch out the song for a different song. There's a woman, she's walking on the street. She's walking on the street, and there's a guy, he's now also walking on the street. Oh my God, is there gonna be a meet cute? Everyone's looking at him. Why is everyone looking at him like this? I was just gonna look at these reaction shots real quick. Why is he looking at him? Is everyone looking at him being like, who the f is this guy? He's looking at him like, this guy sucks. This guy fucking stinks. So they're both walking, and oh, she just kind of walks past him. And she probably thinks to herself, this guy, he's got a little something, but there's something missing here. There's an element about him that is missing. Anyways, he hits a pole like a f***ing idiot. And beautiful, beautiful. They keep walking. She doesn't even notice that he's a dumbass. She keeps walking. He's just still staring. She's running back.
Do you have time for a coffee?
She's like, I don't have a lot of time for a coffee. I'm a busy businesswoman. Can't you see with all the stuff that I'm holding that I'm a busy businesswoman? And this guy, look at him. Look at that face. That is the face. He's like, just you wait. Just you wait till I show you what I got in my pocket. Because this is really, I mean, not to spoil too much, but if this product were to exist, it would be just for that. It would be for people who want to pull out and be like, pretty cool. So let's see. He presses a button. I gotta pause it a lot. I've been getting screwed over by copyright left and right. He presses the button. And then he... Wait, let's look at this again. He just pours espresso out of his phone into a cup. So he's carrying a cup as well. And then what's he gonna say?
Okay, your mobile makes even coffee now.
Your mobile makes even coffee now.
The original.
It's the original. I mean, yeah, sure. Of course it's the original. It's the only one. Okay, so a little bit of recap so far. This is what the advertising makes it seem. You have a phone. It has a... I guess you put... This is all assumptions now. We're going to find out in a bit. But you have boiling water here. You will have... And ground up coffee within your phone case. And I am led to believe that that is going to be the size of it. That's going to be the size of it, and you somehow have enough to make coffee for, well, I guess one person. I don't know if that amount of liquid and coffee can fit in this, like, pretty normal sized phone case. I'm a coffee lover, but just why? You know what? Especially since this is Italian. If you go around in Italy, the sheer amount of places that... It's not hard to find a place that will give you an espresso quickly. It's not a difficult task. If it was real life, she would have been like, okay, bye, creep. A lot of people are just talking about the song in this. A lot of people are liking the song. Where did she get the cup? I'm assuming he had it. If you're the type of person to go around with a phone case that makes coffee... you're gonna be going around with a cup as well. You're gonna have to do that. You're gonna have to have a cup somewhere in your bag. The goal for this Kickstarter campaign was to raise $82,000 for a phone case that could make espresso using disposable wafers. We can read here, they had like a bit that was like translated to English. Google Translate wasn't as good 9 years ago, so let's see what that looks like. It will be surely happen to wish a good cup of coffee, but to have no time to stop at the usual bar. So if I'm trying to imagine what this says. If I'm trying to translate the translation here, what they're saying is, do you know this familiar feeling? You want a good cup of coffee, but you don't have time to stop at your usual place. Pretty good. I think that's what it's saying. Imagine to be in a means of transport leading you to work, or while you pick up your children after the school, in the middle of a work meeting, in short, into one of many frantic moments of the day. This is tough. I really do not think you should use this thing in a means of transport. Imagine you're on a bus and you're using this thing and the bus stops and you're just spilling boiling hot coffee on people. It's right this wish that pushed us to think about a system to obtain our coffee. How to make it always available? Why not join it to a gadget that is already a piece of our lifetime? The smartphone is the answer. I'm going to meet my friends. I tell them about the idea. And from here, everything starts. At the end, we turn out well, and the cover milk case was born. I think you guys understand. I don't think I gotta do the translation into ad speak again. I don't think there's a point in doing that. Okay, well, I want to give it a shot, actually. Imagine you're on your way to work. Imagine you're picking up your kids to school. You're in the middle of a work meeting. You know, one of those crazy moments of life. And you are just yearning for a cup of coffee. It is that wish that caused us to think of this product. How do we make coffee always available? Well, why not attach it to something that's always a part of our lives? I'm done with doing this. Apparently the idea was patented. Here it is. Here's the patent. Per brevetto per invenzione industriale. That's what it says. They said that they were able to make it work. Meaning, I guess there is a working prototype according to them. Or there was. One completed the working out of the plan. Okay, we're gonna have to do this again. The next step has the study of materials and most technical solutions suitable to the kind of performances our cover requests. What? But we need to fit all this shit in a phone case. I think that's what he's saying. We managed to... Yeah, I guess we managed to attach an espresso machine to a phone. To make a prototype? I guess you can tape an espresso machine to a phone. I guess you could try and do that. I am struggling to understand what's happening. In only 0.7 centimeters, we have been able to create an extra strong protection capable to supply hot coffee. Extra strong protection? What about insulation? What about preventing me from accidentally doing this and just burning the inside of my face? Do you have a system that's here to prevent me from turning into Two-Face from the Batman franchise? So let's see, here's the working prototype. Let's see. So this is one thick phone. You put the thingy in, you put it in, you slide it in, you press the app, and then, yeah, I guess you pour the coffee. It heats it that quickly, huh? Wait, how much... That's barely anything. Dude, that's barely any coffee. That's not it. That's not an espresso shot. No. Come on. He's holding it at an angle, I feel like, as well to not show how little it is. And he already had some in there. The idea that I'd be willing to go around for a full day with a phone case that's as big as a brick for that little coffee. For just that tiny, tiny, tiny amount of coffee. And I have to carry around a glass with me all day. The idea that that people in general would be willing to do that is kind of nuts. Colors, so we see that sono il bianco e il nero, so just black and white. You'll be able to choose model and color once the project is approved. Which makes, I mean, yeah, it's a bit early for colors. Bit early for that. You take this thing, slide it in, which I kind of like. I kind of like the functionality of that. I used to have that LG phone where you can just slide out the battery from the bottom and just switch it out just from the bottom bit. So this really reminds me of that. Shout out to that, whatever that phone was called. Coffee is the heart of our project. That's why we have spent much attention to the range of flavors to propose. Okay, you'll have different types of coffee you can have. This is all the phones. The LG, is that the phone I had? The LG G5? Is that the phone I had? I do want to look back. Does the coffee even look like hot? Do we see any steam or anything like that? There's nothing really to indicate that this is hot. The idea that that you would want also just a liquid. Phones were somewhat waterproof in 2017, but not to the point where they are now. Having that be so close to just everything is terrifying. I don't know. I don't like that. So the coffee would be called mocharomi, sorry. It's carried out with an internal material able to warrant the coffee preservation for at least 3 months. By breaking the membrane, it fits perfectly to the liquid exit pipe, this special vacuum tube wafer. Enabling to warrant the coffee preservation has got a little hole. Yeah, there's a bunch of tubes and whatever, and then the coffee goes out. So yeah, about the heat. In about 5 to 8 seconds, you could get 25 milliliter of liquid. In about 50, they're saying it can reach 50 degrees Celsius. So the sizes here, this is pretty much like a standard espresso shot kind of stuff. That's what they're saying that this could do. It didn't seem like that's what it was doing from the video, though. I gotta say. but you know, maybe I'm dumb. So if we're looking at the timeline here, the project is in a very advanced phase. We have kept in touch with suppliers, etc., etc. They're basically saying that within 3 months of the Kickstarter being completed, they'll be able to ship it out. This is insanely ambitious. For their awards, you could get this phone case for 50 euros, which honestly seems cheap-ish, you know, and like plus accessories. So immediately there started being some people who were like, you know, what the hell? Some people invested in it, but immediately people were like, what the hell? So this is an article from Sprudge. It's a funny name, sprudge.com. Sounds like another word for like. But I have 2 questions. First, what's that gonna do to my battery? If I go heating up coffee crackers with my precious battery juice, so the battery is what's heating up the coffee. Incredible. Will I be stuck at 1% ordering a lift, hoping and praying that Jimmy J picks up my fare before the phone goes dead? And second, the question we must all ask ourselves, do you want liquid and a heating element next to your liquid and heativerse electronics? Oh, also to your face. Not just the electronics, next to your face. Your phone is so close to your face. Aren't you kind of unnecessarily playing with fire when there are coffee shops on almost every corner? Especially in Italy. Especially in Italy, where this is like, a lot of the campaign is in Italian. So this coffee shops that will, at least in theory, serve you non-wafered phone pee that looks like battery melt juice. So some haters out there. The campaign managed to get $4,500 from about 90 backers out of the, desired 80-something thousand. And it's not that they didn't manage to reach the rest at the end of the deadline. They actually got suspended by Kickstarter. It says funding suspended. Funding for this project was suspended by Kickstarter about 9 years ago. So David Smith says, "What happened, guys? You got suspended." And then the creator says, "Hi, given the positive feedback we have received in recent days, we have decided to suspend the Kickstarter's crowdfunding campaign and begin production." So given the fact that we could have gotten funding for this on Kickstarter, we have decided that we are too confident for this. Sorry, I just don't buy that to any degree. We have decided we're actually too cool for Kickstarter, and we decided to just kick off production without, the added money, which would be useful. Obviously, this directly contradicts what we saw in the last message. The notification from Kickstarter saying that they suspended the project. They often do that when you can't prove a working prototype. Although I guess we did see a prototype. But that also just kind of looked like a box that had coffee in it from the get-go. I'm not saying that that's what they actually did, because that's illegally me claiming that as legal. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that that's kind of what it looked like to me. And a famous idiot. It kind of looked like they just had liquid there, and then they're turning it, and then they just let the liquid come out. That's kind of what it seemed like to me, an idiot. So they started taking pre-orders on their website in June 2017. A month later, if you buy now, you'll be entitled to be locked to the locked price of 50 euros by leaving a 50 euro deposit by pre-ordering it, essentially. Shipping will begin on September. That is so early for something like this. It's kind of nuts. Wait, you could buy this for 25 euros. That's what they're saying. That's insane. Okay. In the Kickstarter post, they were like, "We're not here anymore, but you can check out our website." And when you go to that website now, it seems to be a news website. Come stampare messaggi WhatsApp. Una guida semplice e veloce. A fast and simple guide. I gotta get a little better. Anyways, that's the video. I love doing a little campaign time machine. They're fun. Would you guys have bought this? What would you guys do to make this? Let's say you're getting added to this team. You get hired to be part of this team really last minute, and you have to make this work. I want you to let me know in the comments if what we saw in those videos is your starting point. What do you do to make this product work? I'm genuinely curious. You guys are so creative with your comment sections, with your comments. So I encourage you, I implore you to figure out how to make this work. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Like and subscribe right now to put me in your phone case whenever you, just for whenever you need me, I guess.